Hello and welcome to this video. Today we're going to tell you about 10 foods that cause inflammation. So make sure you stay with us until the end of the video. According to the legit and authentic information from a blog, we have 10 foods that causes inflammation. Number 1, gluten. Gluten's major problem is that it triggers leaky gut by signaling a protein called zonulin. The body's task is to tell zonulin to open up the gut's tight connections. This is done in order to allow other molecules to exit the stomach. When this happens frequently, or if someone has a leaky gut, the spaces open up too wide, enabling other items to escape as well. Foods that haven't been digested fully, toxins and gut bacteria are free to enter the bloodstream, overburdening the liver and causing the immune system to go into overdrive, causing inflammation. This response can result in antibodies against specific foods, also known as food sensitivities, as well as further damage to the gut health, which can lead to vitamin shortages, digestive disorders, and other problems. Glyphosate is also commonly found in gluten. This pesticide is sprayed on wheat fields before harvesting to dry out the crop. The plant is effectively killed, making harvesting easier for the farmer, but a significant amount of glyphosate lingers on the wheat. Mold toxins, called mycotoxins, are commonly found in gluten and other cereals, which can cause nervous system disruption and cause inflammation. They make the perfect food source for mold, and the way they're stored prior to processing gives fungi an all-you-can-eat buffet. Number 2, dairy. I believe dairy is second only to gluten as one of the most inflammatory items in our modern diet. Amy Myers, PhD. Dairy is disliked by a huge percentage of the people. Many people experience GI problems and inflammation as a result of the sugar in dairy lactose, but one of the dairy proteins, casein, is a bigger issue. The ability to digest and assimilate food is compromised in most children with autism, as well as in most of us with chronic health problems. Because casein digestion requires a long time and a lot of energy, partially digested casein protein are most likely to get through a leaky gut barrier. When this occurs, it causes inflammation in the same way that gluten does. Casein peptides can also be synthesized into opiate-like compounds that bind into the same receptors as heroin. This can lead to a dairy-based food addiction, and it's one of the ways dairy can cause behavioral issues or increase autism symptoms. Number 3, soy. Soy has many of the same effects as gluten and casein, dairy, but it also has some other issues as well. Soy is highly allergenic. Many inhibit thyroid function and is high in omega-6 fats, lectins, and other anti-nutrients. Lectins in soy. Lectins are abundant in soy and other legumes and grains. Lectins are sticky proteins that adhere to sugars or carbohydrate molecules, causing them to change function. Lectins come in a variety of forms, and not all of them are harmful. The lectins in soy and grains can, on the other hand, cause havoc with the immune system, the gut, and even the brain. Lectins can also affect your gut health, alter the microbiome, and cause leaky gut. Lectins may even help carry harmful compounds across the gut barrier and deposit them in any cell of the body. Number 4, sugar. Obesity, heart disease, diabetes, fatty liver disease, and of course, inflammation are all linked to a high sugar diet. High sugar intake can cause blood sugar to become unstable, resulting in behavioral disorders in children, as well as mood swings and overall grumpiness in parents. Insulin resistance can develop over time as a result of fluctuating blood sugar and excessive sugar consumption. Sugar has also been found to weaken the immune response to infections for several hours after eating. It can also trigger leaky gut and feed bad microbes in the gut, all of which lead to even more inflammation. Number 5, GMOs and glyphosate. When it comes to the safety of genetically modified organisms, there are a lot of unsolved uncertainties. GMOs. These foods are most likely causing immune system disturbances and affecting gut health, but we don't know for sure if changing genes in plants would have an influence on our health. This is still under investigation. Glyphosate, on the other hand, is my main issue about GMO foods. GMO foods are engineered to tolerate large doses of this pesticide, which has become so pervasive in our environment that it has reached every corner of the globe. But what are the long-term health consequences of employing so much of glyphosate? Glyphosate and other pesticides increases oxidative stress. chelates minerals, and inhibits detoxification and methylation. According to research, it's also likely to play a part in autism and other neuroinflammatory diseases. Glyphosate harms the microbiome by eliminating probiotic bacteria. It's a patented antibiotic and antibacterial, thus its impact on microbes. Number 6. Artificial colors and flavors. Artificial ingredients have long been associated with problem behaviors and hyperactivity in children. However, these ingredients may drive even bigger health effects and inflammation. Dr. Ben Feingold was one of the first to argue that artificial food additives were harming the health of our children in the early 1970s. Hundreds of families in Dr. Feingold's clinic, and tens of thousands at least as a consequence of his efforts to educate the world about toxic chemicals, have benefited. Number 7. Artificial sweeteners. The FDA has approved 6 artificial sweeteners. Many of them can cause inflammation, which can lead to major health problems like migraines, weight gain, brain damage, and cancer. Because the majority of artificial sweetener research is conducted on animals, there is no scientific consensus on their safety. The short-term symptoms, on the other hand, are unanimously accepted: migraines, rashes, bloating, blood sugar spikes, etc. And at the very least should show us that they do indeed cause inflammation. Number 8. MSG, monosodium glutamate. Monosodium glutamate, or MSG, is one of our food's most potent excitotoxins. It's used in food as a flavor enhancer to fool us into thinking the stuff we're eating tastes better than it really does. Our bodies require glutamate as a neurotransmitter. Too little can cause concentration problems, while too much might destroy nerve cells. While glutamate levels are too high, it becomes an excitotoxin, which means it activates your neurons. This can lead to behavior problems, hyperactivity, and other concerns in our children in the short term. MSG and other excitotoxins used over time may cause major health problems. Number 9. Preservatives. Food is preserved with a variety of FDA-approved preservatives. They are obviously intended to preserve food from deteriorating, but research reveals that many of them cause inflammation and have major health consequences. Take a look at some of the most common food preservatives below. According to study, several of them are generating acute symptoms, which is a sign of inflammation. Long-term consumption can lead to more serious health complications. There are some common preservative groups to avoid. Sulfites. People who have trouble processing sulfur or are sensitive to sulfites appear to be the most concerned about these preservatives. Headaches, low blood pressure, skin rashes, respiratory difficulties such as asthma, allergy-like symptoms, and GI pain and discomfort are all possible symptoms. Nitrates. These chemicals can break down into nitrosamines, which are linked to cancer, thyroid problems, lung disease, and may interfere with oxygen in the blood. Propionic acid. A study published in 2019 linked the preservative propionic acid to an increase in autism. The preservative's ability to produce neuroinflammation, disrupt neuron communication, and perhaps cause mitochondrial malfunction was proven in this investigation. Best to avoid all preservatives. The compounds listed above are only a few of the FDA-approved preservatives that have been studied for their possible effects on inflammation, behavior, and health. There is no nutritional benefit to taking preservative, and the majority of them can cause inflammation, so it's best to avoid them entirely. Number 10. Vegetable and industrial seed oils. Previously, it was thought that these oils were heart-healthy fats, but current evidence clearly links inflammation to vegetable, corn or soy, and industrial seed oils like cottonseed, safflower, canola. These oils are unstable and oxidized or damaged, and they are extracted from the plant's seeds using hazardous solvents such as hexane. Because these oils have oxidized and become unstable, manufacturers must employ preservatives such as those listed above to stabilize them and extend their shelf life. The large level of omega-6 fatty acids in these oils is the most obvious reasons to avoid giving them to your family. In conclusion, food can either help or hurt the body. These are 10 of the most prevalent causes of inflammation. Although if you're sensitive to them, any diet can trigger inflammation. One should always be considerate while choosing your diet. That was all from our side. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and support us. Thanks for watching.